Why hello there! What's going on? It's me, Torball. And I know, it's been a little while. My last couple of videos weren't about my fighting game, but I did a poll on what you guys wanted to see next, and my main project went out in the end. Thank you all for voting, and for that, I want to drop the news early. The game is already out and playable. That's right, you can play the game right now. But before that, stick around and check out what I did to improve the game, because this is my biggest update yet. That being said, this update has been in the making for a few months, so let's dive into it. Let's go. Alright, let's start it off with Tachibana, the first character of the game. Last time you seen her, she had a mostly complete moveset. She had all of her normals, including standing, low, and air moves. But where she was lacking at was in her specials. She already had her medium special, Flash Cutter, that cuts through the opponent, usually leaving a user on the other side. Now it has a boosted version, where she doubles or rather triples back, cutting through her opponent 2 more times with increased hit stun for potential combo follow-ups. She also had her heavy special, Rising Lightning, which was buffed to be invincible on startup, due to it seeming useless after other later changes to the character. To keep this balanced and not spammable, I gave it a recovery animation on Whiff, where she can be more easily punished. She still has the boosted version as well, and nothing much has changed in that regard. Stepping into new territory, she has a new special, Lightning Sever, or its alternative name, Moon Slash, that's mapped to special launch that is a large, and I mean large, crescent slash attack with a small launch on hit. This is a powerful move and is great for combo potential, and is honestly a bit broken currently, so please don't abuse this against your friends. The move also has a few cancels, a couple of which are tied to her other mechanics, but for now, she has a jump cancel, which I am debating taking out because it enables some craziness, and she has a boosted version, where she follows up with 2 more strong slashes, one launching an opponent up higher, and the other sending them back to the ground for a hard knockdown. If I want to share her other cancels, we first have to talk about her last special move. Her light special, Electric Charge. This special may very well be her most versatile, as it has a lot of uses. If you would look at the new meter over her aura, this shows how many charges she has available, limited to 3 max. The first use of this move is the projectile. The normal and 1 charge version of this move is fast and hits for light damage. The 2 charge is a bigger, slower version for more damage. And the 3 charge is the biggest and slowest, but hits hard and can lead to a potential combo if you're fast enough. The second perk of this move is a movement buff. With at least 1 charge, her run speed is heightened, giving her greater traversal, and during air dashes, if you press down, you can fast form. Third, it enhances most sword attacks, granting a lingering slash effect that opens up new combo opportunities. This even affects a couple of the sword specials. These slashes do decrease the meter by 1 each time, so manage how you want to use them well. Another thing is that they allow movement cancels. One form of this is with Lightning Sever, where you can use it to run cancel after a hit, or you can use it with her new mobility move, Lightning Zip, where Tachi becomes lightning and zips a set distance. This costs a full stamina bar, but the payoff is that it's invincible on startup. You can also use a charge to zip out of Flash Cutter's recovery. Both Flash Cutter and Lightning Sever have air versions as well. With all of that new stuff about Tachi, how about we move over to Shihoko for a bit? Shihoko, as you last seen her, barely had much, to be honest. In fact, I definitely had to stretch out her explanation in the last devlog. But now she's a complete character with plenty of new moves to show off. For starters, let's go over her normals. Last time, you got a glance at a few moves in her arsenal, and I explained that she would fit into the mid-range zoner archetype. I showed her light, her medium sequence, and her command normal, and overhead that ground bounces. In hindsight, she didn't have much, but now that's changed. Her launch attack is a water geyser that launches her opponent into the air. This move is a good distance away from Shihoko, which actually causes a problem where she can't use it when holding the opponent in the corner. I'll have to change that in a small update. Next up is her heavy, in which she forms a giant water axe to slash and knock away the opponent. If near a wall, this will cause a wall bounce. Next are her lows, where she swings large water splashes, the medium attack being a particularly good move. Her low heavy sweeps with a wave of water, while her overhead is more of a quick and heavy waterfall that has enough hit stun for a follow-up. Next up are her air normals, where she has decent range as well, for a bit of air control. Her air light is a water swat, which is simple enough, but her air medium is a water tentacle that she thrusts forward with a decent range and can catch the opponent off guard, especially if used in conjunction with her mobility option, the bubble. Her air launch has Shihoko create a giant fist of water, punching her opponent back down to the ground for a knockdown. Her air heavy, on the other hand, is the same as the ground one, a knockback from a giant water axe. Her normals work well to strike at a bit of a distance, giving her a decent presence, but let's include the threat of her special moves. Shihoko's light special is a pressurized water blast and acts as a standard projectile. We'll get back to the boosted version later. Her medium special is called Razor Whirlpool, a rushing attack that covers a good distance, hitting 3 times with a small launch at the end. The boosted version sends Shihoko upwards and leaves her cancelable, hitting the opponent 3 more times on the way up. This move and the boosted version can be done in the air, albeit at a new angle. Next up is her launch special, which is a long-range steam blow attack that also does 3 hits. This attack doesn't do much damage and has a bit of a slow startup, so the best application for this attack is for pressure and Oki, or Okizeme, covering your opponent and limiting their wake-up options. When boosted, this steam becomes debatably her most dangerous move, the bubble. This bubble is slow and menacing, and follows the opponent for 4 seconds. If it hits, it stuns them for a while, and takes a good amount of damage. The block stun is large as well, giving Shihoko a mix-up opportunity for meter. Her last special, mapped to heavy, is Water Pulse, which has 2 uses: to push Shihoko away, as well as blast the opponent away. Used as a tool for Shihoko to maintain distance, as she has no back air dash. In order to stop this move from being broken, it has its own native cooldown. It doesn't have a boosted version, but it does have an air option. And with all of that out of the way, I can show off new general things. Firstly, I added a few things to the defense button. The defense button now houses a number of things. 1. The original ground tech, for a quick wake up to avoid OTGs on slide back. 2. Clash, which previously only worked in the air, but now works on the ground too as a reliable combo breaker. 3. The new dodge mechanic, because that was the original idea, but it's more akin to a parry. For the cost of 10 stamina, you can dodge or parry an attack with the correct timing, and if successful, you return to neutral, with the opportunity to punish your opponent. You'll also regain 5 stamina on success. Mistime this, however, and you'll be left open out of 10 stamina and potentially comboed. The next mechanic tied to the defense button is grabbing and grab teching. Pressing forward plus defense. Each character has a grab that, as tradition goes, cannot be blocked, but can be jumped. If you happen to be grabbed, You can press defense within a small window to tech the throw, pushing both players out of grabbing distance. And with that, that's all the new things I have to show with the defense button. But I still have a few more things to show. Previously, I had extra walls that were breakable and caused a wall bounce, but somewhere within this damn dreaded collision code, I messed up the damn walls. So I had to take them out, but I gave the stage borders a similar wall bounce mechanic. With that, I wanted to limit it in a fun way, so I limited the amount of bounces to 2. If you knock the opponent into the wall a third time, it results in a splat, leaving them open for another attack. After this one splat, they won't interact with the wall until they recover again. This is where Shihoko's final boosted move comes in. Her boosted light special produces a trident as a projectile that comes out faster and hits harder, causing a knockdown that, if they hit the wall, automatically splats the opponent. This is also the only way to get more than one splat in the combo. That's one major difference between Shihoko versus Tachi. While Tachi is more of a beginner-friendly Shoto type, Shihoko can help in learning to utilize the game's mechanics to the fullest. Now, before I conclude the gameplay section, I have one final thing to show. Supers. Each playable character has a usable super for the cost of 150 meter or 3 bars. Tachi's, called Lightning Dance, is an advancing attack similar to her medium special, but if she lands it, hits for a multitude of slashes. This move is also an OTG, so it makes for a great combo ender. Shihoko's super is called Whirlpool Typhoon, and she swings a giant blade of water, and if it connects, causes a large vortex of water to juggle the opponent. This does not OTG, but the launch from it can be comboed off of, making this a great combo starter or combo meat. Both supers are invincible on startup, so beware of one being used raw. And with that, that concludes the gameplay portion. But there's more. I also made a bunch of new UI. For starters, there's a new pause menu now that can be used to restart the match, return to character select, or return to the main menu. And speaking of main menus, the main menu got a big revamp from the previous, with nice sliding buttons that I'm particularly proud of. The image portrayed on the right is at random as well, switching between Tachi and Shihoko every time the room is returned to. The only thing here that isn't exactly functional is the options choice. Just ignore it for now. Next up is the character select. While I did plan on changing it, it'll have to wait till the next update where I can finish the art for it. For now, it looks the same as when you last saw it, but with a few additions. Now, the music and stage are selected before confirming your character, with button prompts to cycle each one. There's also the inclusion of color palettes that I said I'd add a long while ago. For now, each character has 6 colors, and I may even add more. You can change them by either going up or down. And one more thing. There might be an extra, in quotations, character for you to play around with here. You'll just have to find and try them out yourself. It's not that hard. So there you have it. A big ass update with a big ass devlog for my fighting game, TIP Rumble. And you can play the game right now if you want. Just check the description below and go to my itch.io page for it. And maybe even check out my other game. It's pretty fun. Feel free to leave any feedback over there or here in the comments, as I'd love to read your thoughts, ideas, or criticisms about my little project here. It's been kind of long in the making, and I finally got something out for it. I'd love any type of feedback so that it can strengthen my fighting game endeavors in the future. And with that, I want to say that I'm going to be giving this game a hiatus. This game has been fun, but there's a lot of other game ideas I want to try out, new fighting games included, and this project is still reminiscent of the early me and my old skills. So I'll possibly be dropping a few character guides, the soundtrack, and maybe even some matches. If you want to play with me over Parsec, or even just chill with my community, join my Discord server in the description as well. But for now, this game will be dormant for a while, if not for good. So with that being said, I appreciate everyone who came here to watch this series. Thank you for 400 subscribers and for the wonderful community that watch me work on these projects, help me, and push me to get better. I'll see you guys in my next devlog or my next stream. Either way, this has been Torball. Make sure you like and subscribe for more. Just keep watching. Peace.